Hello Stewards Trust kids, how are you doing? How is your summer going? We're having a great time in all this sun, aren't we? We're so lucky to have such a wonderful place to live. I know that you're doing an at-home house party at the moment, and I would love to read you a story today. And the story I'm going to read you is from the Jesus Storybook Bible, which is really good, and it's called The Teeny-Weeny True King. I think you're going to enjoy this one. Are you ready? God's people had a new land. Now they wanted a king. But God is your king, Samuel told them. He is the one who looks after you best. We want a real king, they said, one we can see. God knew that a king might not be the kind to his people or look after them as well as he did, or that he would. But God's people didn't care. They wanted a king, and they wanted him now. So God gave them a king. He was called Saul, and he seemed like a good king at first. But he became proud, and he stopped listening to God. He didn't obey God or love God with his whole heart. Saul can't help me with my plan, God said. I need a king who loves me and will teach my people to love me. I need a true king. God had one in mind. Go to Bethlehem, God told Samuel. You'll find a new king there. Samuel's job was to listen to God and tell people what God said. I'm going to show you a picture of this. Look, this here is Saul, and these are all the people looking after him. But I think he's probably getting a little bit proud already. He's definitely got a bit of a grin on his face. So Samuel went to the little town of Bethlehem. God told Samuel to go to Jesse's house. God was going to choose one of Jesse's sons to be the new king, and Jesse had 7 strong sons. Oh, that's a lot of boys in one family. Now, in those days, if you were going to be the king, you didn't have to be the richest or the cleverest, although that was always nice. You had to look like a king, which was what you had to do. You had to be tall and strong, so you could carry the longest swords and the biggest armour and defeat everyone. And it didn't hurt to be handsome either. Samuel asked Jesse to bring him each son in turn. So Jesse brought the oldest, tallest and strongest son. This must be the new king, Samuel thought. He looks like a king. But God didn't choose him. You're thinking about what he looks like on the outside, God told Samuel, but I am looking at his heart, what he's like on the inside. So Jesse showed Samuel his next oldest son, tallest and strong, but God didn't choose him either. In fact, God didn't choose any of the 7 sons. Samuel said, "Is that all?" And Jesse laughed. Oh, well, there's the youngest one, but he's just the weakling of the family. He's only teeny. Bring him, said Samuel. Jesse's youngest son came running up. Look, there he is. Look, he's got big strides, hasn't he? And God spoke quietly to Samuel. This is the one. His name was David. He has a heart like mine, God said. It is full of love. He will help me with my secret rescue plan. And one of his children's children will be the king. And that king will rule the world forever. Samuel anointed David's head with oil, which was a special way to show that you are God's chosen king. Look, there he is, having some oil poured onto his head. That might be a fun activity for your parents to do for you later on today. You will be the new king one day, Samuel told him. And sure enough, when he grew up, David became king. God chose David to be king because God was getting his people ready for an even greater king who was coming. Once again, God would say, "Go to Bethlehem. You'll find the new king there." And there, one starry night in Bethlehem, in the town of David, 3 wise men would find him. That is such a great story, isn't it? I really enjoyed it. Do you know what I love about that story? Is that David was just a little boy when he was chosen to be king. And, he didn't actually become king till a bit later on. But God knew, and he had a plan for David. And you know what? He's got a plan for you too. You might not know what you're going to be one day, or what you're going to be like, or who you're going to get married to, or anything like that. But the great news is God does. So you remember all the time as you're growing up that God cares what's on the inside, not what's on the outside. Thank you very much for watching, Stewards Trust Kids. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.